You are listening to Insurance Untangled podcast, where we explore the various challenges faced by dental practices due to their reliance on insurance. In this podcast, we dive deep into the issues surrounding dental insurance dependence and offer practical solutions and strategies for reducing your reliance on insurance. Join us as we interview industry experts, share success stories, and provide valuable insights to help you take control of your practice's financial future.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast. This is Naren, your co-host. As you know, this is the place where you untangle the mess that's PPO plans. And today we have our co-host and dear friend, Ben, with us to talk about dental plan types and non-covered service laws. Ben, welcome. And also I have Jordan with me, who's going to be my co-host, fellow co-host.
I'm just hanging out, yeah.
Morning, Naren, or good afternoon, wherever you guys are at, wherever you're listening. But thanks for that intro, Naren.
Absolutely. Let me kick it off with the first question. Can you briefly explain the different types of dental plans that exist?
Yeah, I feel like that's an important question to ask because when it comes to laws, there are different laws that govern different types of dental plans. So the two most common in terms of plans that provide reimbursement are self-funded plans, when an employer just wants to sort of pay their own way, right? Pay their claims and then pay an admin fee to an insurance company to process claims. Those are called self-funded. They're the least expensive in terms of the spend on a dental benefit. They're the least expensive dental plan for an employer to pick. However, you have to be, a medium-sized to large employer to pick a self-funded plan. But that's typically what you see with, like, even if it says Delta Dental PPO, on the patient's card, if they're employed by Boeing, well, Boeing uses Primera, but if they're employed by a large group, the PPO / Premier / whatever it is, designation on the plan doesn't necessarily tell you whether that's a self-funded plan or not. So they're self-funded for employer groups. And then the other plan type on the PPO realm is fully insured, right? Fully insured, they cost more as a patient. So you typically see like small businesses, like if a chiropractic office or even a dental office wanted to do an insurance plan, the vast majority of small businesses will do full insurance. They'll pay a little bit extra, well, sometimes a lot more than self-funded plans, mainly because a lot of small businesses don't have the numbers to support self-funding their own plan, right? Sometimes it's more expensive for small groups to do that. So full insurance is putting money into a big pot, just like we do with medical insurance, right? We all contribute towards medical insurance, and then out of that pot is what claims are paid out of, right? So those are the two different classifications. You have self-funded or you have full insurance.
Yeah, that's kind of fascinating, actually. So, Ben, what laws govern these types of plans?
Yes, so for self-funded plans, simply because self-funded is not, it is structured where the employer is financially responsible for claims. So those self-funded, those plans are governed under federal laws. And the law in particular is called ERISA, E-R-I-S-A. So it's a federal law that governs self-funded plans. Now, for fully insured plans, those are governed by the state. So if you have a problem with your insurance plan and you have a fully insured plan, you can call the insurance commissioner of your state to get advocacy. But those are the two different separations. Is self-funded follows federal ERISA laws, fully insured follows state laws.
That's awesome, Ben. When it comes to each state's non-covered service, are self-funded dental plans truly exempted from those state law stipulations?
Yeah, great question there, Naren. And by the way, I forgot to throw out a disclaimer. We're talking about laws.
You're not an attorney.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. I'm not an attorney, and this does not represent legal advice. This is just speculation on what the laws are and where they are. Right. So to answer your question, Naren, so there in ERISA, the ERISA laws, they do actually have a clause within them that states that ERISA plans are fully exempt from state laws, right? Simply because it's federal. So that's one of the challenges that we see in many states. Over 50% of dental insurance or PPO plans are self-funded, right? Or patients that come in, half of them have a plan tied to an employer that's self-funding their dental plan. So those dental plans are governed by the federal government. Full insurance is governed by the state. So all the state laws that are applicable would typically be covered under the state law, not the federal laws, and vice versa with ERISA. But the problem that you see, so this is an argument that I've been mentioning to the legal community for so many years, is that there's no such thing as a federal dental license. So dental licenses are governed at the state level.
Yeah.
So that doesn't. So to me, you have an ERISA plan, a self-funded plan, and the state laws don't apply, right? But to the dentist, it's like, well, I have no choice but to follow the state laws, right? So and this is my opinion, when you
sounds contradicting, yeah.
It is. When you follow the line of logic, yes, the self-funded plan is set up to have protections under ERISA laws for that group. But when it comes to clinical dentistry and fees, to me, the license, the governing body that governs that license for that dentist to perform treatment should be the final say on what laws that practice is protected under, right? And I've, for many years, have been saying it's state law, simply because you can't have a federal law to practice dentistry, right? So
that's
there
interesting.
You go. You have two different plan types, two different laws, and they totally conflict with each other.
Yeah, that's really interesting, dude. I have never heard of this. This is really deep insurance talk.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, I've got a question. What advice do you have for those who are being bullied, common issue, by insurance plans on non-covered service issues?
Yep. So I see this all the time.
Yeah.
So if a dental practice has no way of knowing whether the patient has a fully insured or a self-funded plan, right? So when you go through the treatment planning process, and let's say you're going to do veneers, and veneers are not covered by the patient's plan. So under your own understanding of your state law, you then proceed to collect your full fee from that patient. And then the patient calls their insurance company and says, hey, why don't I get any discounts for veneers when I have insurance, right? I know it's not covered, but am I supposed to still get discounts? And the insurance plan administrator will say, yes. Why didn't the dentist give you a discount? And they say, well, because it's non-covered. So they charge me the full fee. So the insurance company would call the dental practice and would say, you violated ERISA laws by not honoring the in-network discounted fee, right? My response to those regulators is, well, you show me where I have a federal license to practice dentistry, where those federal laws would govern my license, and then I'll give the patient a refund. But until you can prove that my license is governed under any federal law, then this conversation is over, right? You can't ask me to not, to throw out all the licensing requirements because you have a federal law that governs the patient's plan and how that's sold, but it doesn't satisfy the question of who governs my license from a governing perspective, state or federal. And you don't get any response from the insurance companies at all. Oh, ERISA laws exempt us from, the plan from state law governance. That does not throw out the fact that the doctor's license is still governed under state law, right? So I push that argument all the time, and not once have I ever received a response from an insurance company. Even when I'm on the call, they never call back because we're right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Ben. Let me ask you the last question. How do I find out if I'm in a state that has a non-covered service law?
Great question. So this is very important because every law is different and every state is different on how they write the law. And in one state, the interpretation of their law would be different than your state, right? So find the exact law. And I recommend getting counsel from an attorney in your state, particularly one that knows healthcare law, dental laws, to get a good interpretation on exactly how this law works. So the best place for you to go is if you Google, like if you're in the state of, let's say, California, and you Google California dental non-covered service legislation, 9 times out of 10, first thing that'll pop up will be your state law. But if you struggle even with that search instruction, just Google American Dental Association non-covered service law by state.
Or
And
just call Ben and hire him.
Or you could do that as well.
That's the third option, right, bro?
We're gonna be posting regular updates on new states being added. So yes, thank you, Jordan. Visit
Yes.
VeritasDentalResources.com.
Our customers love Ben, so there you go. There's my endorsement.
You're awesome. I appreciate that. No, thank you. Yeah. So those are the resources there to find non-covered service laws.
So thank you so much, Ben, for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know your website is Veritas Dental Resources. Is that the place where people can go to learn more about additional things you do and how you help the community?
Absolutely. Yep. Check us out there. We'll be posting a lot more content on the website. That's our mission for this year, is to get more, including these non-covered service explanations, list of states. Veritas Dental Resources, VeritasDentalResources.com is where you can find that information.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Give us a sweet review, because Ben is awesome and always brings new, interesting topics in the crazy world of insurance. So Ben, thank you for all your time today. And with that said, we hope you guys all have a rocking day.